Well, there's no way I can get all this on a video, so I've had one, two, this is my third one, and I'm just going to entitle it Kidnapping of Margaret Ann Windsor, Ongoing Saga. If anybody cares to go back and they're 10-minute long, so that's 10, 20, 30 minutes out of the day. Okay, I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers. I married Childers, and the twins were both dead. Peggy and Carl were killed by their mother, Lina. They were born out of wedlock, and I was put in a pigsty. You can't call that a home, or it was more like a lean-to. It was hell. And I was told my name was Peggy. That's how I grew up. And later, a sister, after I run in this campaign, Larry McDonald campaign to replace him in '83, flown out to Flint's. I'd written about mind control murders. And had antifreeze put in me April Fool Day of '80. I thought it was because of the book. I had a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd of '79, ongoing investigation, national security involved. So all this has been ongoing, stacking it, laws committed against me that were hell, every day of it. If I'm skipping around, I'm trying to get it on this one. This is George Illegal 6. He's my uncle. He is let me show you this. This is 1939 when I was born. This is Roosevelt. This is who is called the Queen Mom. She's Elizabeth's mother, Elizabeth Bowes, who was kin to the Rothschilds who kidnapped me, helped kidnap me, the New World Order. This is my uncle, helped take down his own brother with a forced abdication, nothing but a bunch of lies. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, not Wallace Warfield Simpson. An imposter married Wallace, and they became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. And they, in essence, it sealed it. When they kidnapped me, it sealed my father's. There was an addendum to the forced abdication that said that none of that would have, and it is legal. I have talked with someone from Britain who knew. They approached me and told me about it. So I'm not going to mention any names, but anyway, it was all legal. A 99-year seal was put on my father's forced abdication in my birth. Victoria II, heir to the crown. The Bilderbergers, the Rothschilds, Joe Kennedy was ambassador. That's JFK's father. And he was ousted as ambassador, run out in '46, but that's after they kidnapped me and gave away Great Britain. My own uncle, illegal George VI, signed illegal treaties that gave the United States access to everything, all the land Great Britain had to put its military bases. Now then, they even have a Area 51 in Australia. Remember, everybody was told they had a Area 51 here. Well, now then, they said they didn't. Now then, you can Google it. They have one in Australia. This is my father, Edward VIII. Now, I want to go back to this. It's one of the infractions without getting the others that I put on tapes for a long time, for over a year now, on YouTube. But after I married John, I met him out of high school. I worked in Huntsville for Curl Wholesale Company, and I worked there for a year. But I met John, and I later found out he worked for the CIA. But anyway, I dated him just a little bit, and the woman that I grew up being told to call mother, Lina, that killed her twins, that nobody's been prosecuted for either, she brutalized me. And Philip was brought there. I thought he was a half-brother. I look back with all I know. He is retired from the ATF in Atlanta. With all I know now, I really don't think Philip was born into that family. I think he was like me. He was kidnapped and put there. But anyway, I loved him like a brother, and I wanted to get him away from her so she couldn't hurt him. I married John, and I know now that he was told to marry me, and he did. Okay, he had a Cadillac convertible like Elvis. He had an Imperial, which back then was more impressive than the Cadillacs. Anyway, he went to Florida on vacation. I was still working. Let me make a point, asterisk here. I was working at Curl Wholesale Company, Winston Street in Huntsville. Bull Durham, William Durham, yes, that's his name, was the manager. And it was owned out of Chattanooga. Okay, now then, I'm still there when John takes his Cadillac and a leased or mortgage boat across the state line to Florida, and he sells it, the boat. So they say a criminal offense. I guess it is. So suddenly this man I married is a fraud. The Cadillac was leased, and I don't think that was illegal to take it across the state line. But anyway, the people in Huntsville probably were trying to get me. They knew of my real name and kidnapping. So I ended up about a week and a half later up in Tennessee with John, my husband, not knowing what was going on. He put me on a bus back to the very woman I'd tried to get away from in Huntsville, Dempsey, where I got there, and immediately they tell me that the sheriff, and he had to be the sheriff or DA, Macon Weaver. His middle name was what I had it here, Macon Weaver. He was on the phone to me, and I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know anything about John being wanted for selling a boat or anything. And I just knew something went terribly wrong, that we left and we didn't have any money for a motel after we got married. So something was wrong. So anyway, I got sent back, and I got the sheriff, Macon Weaver, that's going to, and Tom Younger. Both of these men became attorneys. I want to make this point. Macon Weaver, that did this, became U.S. attorney, prosecuting attorney in Birmingham in that northern territory of Alabama. And Tom Younger became the city of Huntsville attorney, and you should read the write-ups about them. If you did a background check on them, these people are, the salt of the earth. So was Myrtle Green, a probate judge that tried to have me killed with a stroke of a pen and helped Dempsey and my ex-husband at that time, John Childers, who wanted me dead. And she had a heart attack, by the way, and that's part of what I was writing about with mind control. You can modify behavior, make people go out and shoot or kill or murder that looks like suicide. That's mind control. You can create an illness, cause them to die of a heart attack. So there's lists and lists of it. The control media that's controlled by the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, the Freemasons, the Illuminati are the ones that kidnapped me. So they're not going to tell it. And it would affect the medical profession, really. But anyway, I called Tom Younger when I was working for the VA after I had antifreeze put in me, and believe me, and Lana Dempsey was trying to use the mental health to kill me, basically, and shut me up, because she would have faced the death penalty in Alabama if it had been prosecuted, and then you would have known about me and my kidnapping. So anyway, I want to get back to when I married John, though, in 58. Okay, that's August. And then I'm sent back there, and immediately, by John, bought a ticket across the state line. He's in the Cadillac. I don't know where he's going. I didn't know he was running from the law. But anyway, I got back to Huntsville, and I get the call from Macon Weaver. He was sheriff or DA. I know he was sheriff. And I'm on the phone, and he says he's coming out to the house where I'm living in Huntsville, and I'm going to be arrested as an accessory. And I thought, accessory to what? I knew nothing about it. I was still working in Huntsville when he took it across the state line, the boat and the car. So then later, I ran. I didn't run on purpose.